Hi, I'm Sarah.
And I'm David. We're talking about The Amazing Race. We're getting towards the finale. One more episode after this, right?
Tense,
it was
David.
so tense. The editors were putting in work this episode.
I was getting teary, a little verklempt.
Yes. There were like multiple points where it seemed like it was a race to get to the next stage of this leg. It was very intense. The editors did great work this episode.
Got their money's worth with this one.
So we start in Split, but we're splitting from Split.
Oh boy.
And we're going to the Netherlands, to Amsterdam.
Yes, which is a beautiful, apparently.
Oh my God, gorgeous.
Never been there.
So what we should say, there's a little like setup, right? Team Fun is talking about this is the leg they got eliminated on last time. Nicole saying it's my birthday. Please everyone be nice to me. Tyler and Corey are saying like maybe we're expecting a U-turn this leg. So there's a lot of foreshadowing
setting up
on
here, yes.
Yeah. But once we get to the airport to fly to the Netherlands, people are on different flights. So we're thinking, great, classic Amazing Race. Like some teams are on different flights.
Yep.
Doesn't matter.
Only 2 teams on the first flight. Yeah. Or was it 3 and 2?
It was 3 and 2 on the second.
3 and 2. Doesn't matter.
Because the bikes open at 9 a.m. They have to go to this tandem bike situation, but everyone's there when it opens at 9 and everyone's scrambling and racing.
Everyone is off and trying to figure out how the heck you ride a tandem bike.
Oh yeah, nobody knows.
It's awkward and difficult and some people just need to put their feet up.
Listen, Tyler took a break as usual and Corey was in the front. Just taking one for the team. Good job, Corey.
Of course. That was adorable with Tyler's feet up.
So they're on these tandem bikes and they have to find a clue which was very well hidden in some foliage. And I believe it's Nicole and Colin and Christy who find the clue first. And this is the detour. It's high or it's dry.
Yes, and shockingly, Nicole is the only one that chooses dry.
Dry, yeah.
Which ends up being this pole vaulting thing.
Yeah.
With cheese and eggs.
They have to like get across a ditch the Dutch way, right? Which involves pole vaulting.
Which we actually have seen before. There were a couple other seasons that we've done this sort of like pole vaulting through water.
Yeah.
But it's not easy.
No.
I don't think I can do it.
It takes a lot of upper body strength and grip strength.
Yeah.
So we kind of see Nicole struggling with this leg of the detour. She keeps falling down the pole and just getting soaked in this ditch.
When they finally give it to her, she like comes up and she's got like mud on half her face and she was like, that was good. Okay.
Right. And they're like, yes, that's the Dutch way. And she's like, that's the Dutch way? Close enough, right. Well then once they get across the pole vaulting thing, they've got to get some cheese and some eggs and take it to a market. And Victor kind of handles that part. He's like, I'm gonna pole vault the eggs.
Because guess what? Victor's pole vaulted before.
Of course.
What?
Yeah.
He's done everything.
Yes, right. So he's like, let me just handle this. And they do it. They're very judicious about like, we're checking our eggs.
They're so worried about those eggs.
Yeah, smartly.
Yeah, they check it. They go off. Now, there's a bit of travel on both of these. Because like, eventually, you know, they get the pole vaulting. It's not very hard. Yeah. You get it. Yeah. But then they have to deliver them. Meanwhile, this cow raising thing is also like, you just power through it. But they had to bike a while to get there.
Exactly. They bike to the cows. The cows are like in a field. They have to lug the cow over to this tractor and then follow the tractor back into town before they can even do, you know, the lifting the cow to the top of this like bell tower or whatever.
Yeah, it seemed like forever with the just traveling back and forth. But guess what? Colin and Christy?
Of course.
Colin is like jumping in the air and just pulling this rope down.
It's amazing. He's such a beast.
Superman.
Yeah. So it's him and it's Tycor who are going at the same time, but Afghanimals are in the mix. Like we saw all 3 of these teams in the cow field at the same time. Yes. So they're all sort of back to back, but Team Fun is like far behind. Like I don't know where they got tripped up, but they're sort of on their own.
We're on the path by themselves, which is always harder to be like, I don't see anyone. Are we going in the right direction? Right. You know, it wasn't clear if they were lost or just confused and slow and just behind. Yeah. But yeah, so they're just like, oh, are we going to the right place? So they're a little bit behind. Yeah. We see Colin, Christy, Tycor. I mean, Tyler does pull on the rope this time.
He does. He's using those new muscles to get this cow up there.
He's got upper body strength.
Yeah.
So they're able to get their cow up. First attempt, get out. Afghanimals goes third. Yeah. They're able to do it in the first attempt.
Yes.
And now we hear
that it's a double U-turn ahead.
That the double U-turn is ahead. and they know this, the card says it, and they race off.
Yes. Well, we should say that when Afghanimals gets through their leg of the detour, Vicole is also getting through the market situation on the dry part of the detour. So now this is where the editors are earning their paychecks, right? Because they make it seem like it is a race between Vicole and Afghanimals to get to the U-turn first.
And Afghanimals is clearly saying, hey, we want to U-turn Vicole.
Right, they've got it coming.
We want to get them back.
Right, revenge kind of a thing, like tit for tat. It's like very much that, like they voted for us at the double U-turn, so now like if we get the chance to U-turn them, we will.
And Vicole's just saying like, well, we just have to get there.
Right, we just need to get there first.
U-turned.
Yeah.
Right.
Now, we already have seen Colin and Christy and Tykor get to the double U-turn, and they both agree, let's not be a part of this.
They communicate.
Yeah.
We're the first two teams.
Right.
Let the next three figure it
Battle it out. We are clearly in first place here. Like, we're probably not that in danger of getting eliminated. Let's leave it alone.
I think that's so smart.
Uh-huh.
No need.
Yeah.
And yes, they're two of the top teams, so go right ahead.
Just keep going. Keep right. Like, don't even worry about that.
Right.
Well, then, it's this sort of, like, bike race between Afghanimals and Vicole, or so it seems.
Seemingly, yeah.
And Afghanimals get there first, and so they get their revenge, and they U-turn Vicole.
So, yes, they do what they said they were going to do. And on one hand, it's like, so they voted for you, but you weren't actually
U-turned, right.
But on the other hand, they're team 3.
Mm-hmm.
I don't blame them for just U-turning anybody.
Yeah, right.
And if they are going to U-turn the next two teams, it's only Team Fun and Vicole.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they are obviously closer with Team Fun.
Right.
So it just kind of makes sense anyway.
Yes.
Even if there wasn't that history.
Right.
It's a good game decision.
Exactly. You're down to the top 5 teams. You're the third team to arrive. There are only 2 teams left. It's a double U-turn. It just is like, it makes sense. Like the math adds up where you're going to U-turn Vicole.
Right.
So they do this. Then Vicole gets there, realizes they've been U-turned, and so they have to U-turn Team Fun.
They have to.
I don't know if they necessarily want to or whatever, but they're like, we have to have any chance of, staying in the race.
If you are Team 4
and
you've just been U-turned, like you would be dumb not to U-turn the last team.
Right. So now we see Team Fun is on the high part of this detour with the cow, and they're once they find the cow, like they have they're lost, like we said. But once they find the cow, I was expecting them to have a lot of trouble with the raising the cow because I just don't see a ton of upper body strength. But good old Becca is
she does have arms.
She does. So they get through the cow in one attempt.
Yes, they do. Yeah, I was surprised. I thought it was going to take them a couple attempts.
Me too.
But they're done. They're good. They go off.
Yes.
Now at this point, I think is when we see Colin and Christy get the clue first. Afghanimal's not far behind them. And they realize that they're on their way to the pit stop, but there is a task.
Right.
They have to get in these boats. They have to grab other boats.
Yeah.
And kind of maneuver through
But it's not a roadblock. We were expecting a roadblock, of course, because there always is one, but there was no roadblock this leg. And so they just have to find these boats through these canals, which are very tricky to navigate. They're like one way.
But has Colin ever been in boats?
Colin is like leaping over bridges.
He's
Colin,
like, this is like home to
I
me.
grew up with boats and like, I don't know how, I don't have any skills, I don't think, that would apply to Amazing Race challenges. Colin has all of them.
All of them.
He's done everything.
He's like, oh yeah, I used to do this.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I tried this back in college. Like whatever it is.
Oh my God.
He's done it all.
Yeah.
He is amazing Superman.
So he feels very at home navigating this boat and things are going swimmingly for them.
Now Team Fun unfortunately finds out they're U-turned.
Yes.
So now we've got 2 frustrated teams.
Yeah. Vicole is like searching for the cow part of the detour. They kind of miss it the first time. So that's like setting them back and I'm getting more nervous.
The editing again, driving me bonkers.
So good.
Because all of this is boom, boom, boom. And now we see Vicole is lost as Team Fun is U-turned. So they're heading back. Everyone's heading back.
Yes.
Vicole goes to do the other one, which is the lifting the cow.
And I think Victor is on this team. He's a superstar. No problem. They're the only team who doesn't get it up on the first attempt, which is a shocker.
Yes, but he has been biking the two of them. He's exhausted.
Yeah, because we saw the scene where Nicole's just like perched with the eggs. Like.
Now they said they were like really working on protecting these eggs, which is valid. So Nicole, don't worry about you know,
pedaling,
moving your legs and moving around. But that means Victor is exhausted.
So I was shocked to see them not get the cow on the first attempt.
And now Victor's on the ground. He's like, can't
exhausted.
breathe. I'm like, give the man some water. Yes. This is terrifying. Yeah. But also, we see Team Fun make like a rookie mistake.
Yikes. So luckily for Vicole, Team Fun they're very good at the pole vaulting situation. They both have the upper body strength for this.
Yes.
But then Becca vaults over with the eggs and
runs off.
We see Floyd say, are the eggs good? And she's like, they're good, and they run off.
I mean, the fact that she doesn't even pause. No. She like vaults and is like, we're good, let's go.
That's the kind of mistake you make in a double U-turn scenario. You're just stressed.
You're stressed. Exactly.
You don't want to take that extra second to make sure that everything's perfect, and then it costs you because Team Fun gets to the market and one of their eggs is cracked. And this, I think, is the first time I've ever on The Amazing Race seen Becca upset in any kind of way. She's like, I want to throw this egg in your face, sir. Like, now you're telling me I have to go back and get 12 new eggs?
Yes.
It was wild to see Becca this upset because they're normally so, like, cool, calm, positive, everything, but they're under stress. Yeah.
I mean, yes, we can all imagine how frustrating it is to be U-turned. Yeah. And you're going to make this stupid little mistake, and now you realize you've made this mistake. You're so upset.
Yeah.
They have to go back.
Yeah.
Oh, it's heartbreaking.
Painful. So both Vicole and Team Fun are struggling with this thing, but then on the second attempt, Victor and Nicole's using every ounce of her body weight to pull this cow up, and they barely make it up on the second attempt. I don't know if they could have done a third attempt.
And then thank goodness Nicole runs up the stairs. She's like, Victor,
He's like, you go. He's like on his hands and knees on the ground. Like, you need to do this.
She's like, okay, I'll get this.
And then I love when she gets to the top and she like gets the clue and hugs the lady. She's like, is there an easy way down? And the lady's like, no.
Let's go back to the boats.
Yes, we should go back to the boats.
Because now we see that Colin and Christy, of course, Mr. Amazing, is doing just fine, but Afghanimals miss the second selection of boats.
Yes, they pass right by it. And because they were ahead of Colin and Christy, right? And they pass by it, and then Colin and Christy do not. They spot it. Yeah. And so they sort of have the chance to pass the Afghanimals.
Now, it does seem like it was difficult, because there was a moment where Colin was like, I don't know, is there flags?
Yeah.
And then Christy's like, yes.
Yeah, right. So it's tough to spot.
Right. But can't make those mistakes.
You can't.
Especially when you're in a canal.
Yeah, that's
and it's
one
not
way.
Like, let's just do it again. They have to exit this canal, which then you're in a lake.
Yeah.
And now they're figuring out, how do we get back in the canal?
And we're hearing Jamal say things like, well, it's too late to double back now. We got to keep looking. So I'm like, are they looking for the next boat in this huge expanse? Like, no, you got to circle back.
It's like, no, it's in the canal, but they try to go back. They're like,
the wrong way.
People are getting angry.
Yeah, right. The locals were clearly not prepped that, like, this was going to be happening.
Hello, did they like get a letter like on their door that said, hello, we'll be filming on this day?
Because we saw like Tycor struggling with the locals too.
And people are like, are you idiots?
Yeah, people are like, this is like a busy afternoon, and they're like, we can see that, but like,
we're in a race.
We're racing for $1 million.
See the cameras?
Yeah. At this point, Colin and Christy have found their two boats, and they just like run another flawless leg of The Amazing Race, and they get their second first place finish this season.
It was gorgeous.
And they just feel like they are peaking at the right time. Like they're talking about, in our previous season, we won 6 legs of The Amazing Race. Now we decided to like lay a little bit low, coast along, not overdo it. And now I kind of agree they're maybe peaking at the right time.
Absolutely. I don't know how you plan to sort of just coast through, but maybe when you're that amazing, you can dial it back a smidge.
Yeah.
But yeah, whatever it is, like we've talked about how zen they are.
Yeah.
They are keeping their cool. It's not just a facade.
No.
And they just beast out when they do.
That's right. And luckily this time they got to work with a fake cow, so they didn't have to deal with that mess again. You know, like everything is just clicking for them right now. They seem unstoppable.
And I mean, not just the fact that Colin is amazing, but they don't make little mistakes.
They don't.
They don't miss the details.
Yeah.
And they're communicating very well.
Very well.
So I don't foresee any issues. Like I just can't imagine them stumbling.
Yeah, I think we definitely see them in the final 3, and they're feeling confident that they might win this, and I think they have a really good chance.
Yeah, they might be the team to beat for sure.
Yeah. Well, now the Afghanimals are kind of making their way back into the canals, but Ticor has gotten their second boat at this point, so they've passed the Afghanimals. Yes. But now Vicole is arriving, and they see the Afghanimals. They're still, I think, a little too far back. The editing at this point is like chaos.
I'm all over the place. I'm like, where's who's what?
And this map graphic is cool. Amazing.
Yes.
And it really is adding to the tension of like, this team is here, and this team is here, and this is where the pit stop is. Like, it's great editing. This is such a fun episode.
So we start to see, so Ticor has passed. We see Vicole is starting to enter. But now also, Afghanimals is having boat trouble. Yeah. Like, it has stopped working.
Are they out of gas? Like, what's going on?
But they are able to get help. But we also start to see Team Fun has shown up at this point. So it is not super clear until we see Vicole grab their first boat and Afghanimals do pass them. Yes. And they're able to grab their second boat.
Right.
And get out. So now at the pit stop, we've had Colin and Christy first, Ticor second. Yeah. Which they didn't even realize.
They didn't. And that just goes to show like how all over the place this final challenge was, because Ticor gets there and they're like, I don't know, we'd guess third. And Phil kind of like messes with them and he's like, oh, you're being very optimistic. But they believe him. They're like, oh, are you serious? And he's like, just kidding, you're second.
So then Afghanimals get their second boat. Vicole is right there. We see Team Fun is now in the canal. Yeah. So Afghanimals is now third at the pit stop. Right. And it's just between Vicole and Team Fun.
Well, now Vicole takes the longest route out of the canals because the locals give them some bad directions and they say go left instead of go right. So on the map now, it looks like Vicole has gone all the way north and they're coming out of like the furthest possible exit back towards this island on the pit stop.
And you see them just out in a lake and it seems like completely wrong. There's a point when they're like, wouldn't it be marked? And you see them passing the marked arrow. Yes. Now it's ironic that we had a leg where Victor didn't ask for directions. Yeah. And this time they ask for directions and, it's incorrect.
Yeah. It's stressful too because we see Team Fun talking to the locals and they're like, go this way, it's a shortcut.
Right. Yeah.
So I'm like, oh my God, like I don't want either of them to go, but I really love Vicole and I just would hate for her to go home on her birthday, but I would also hate for Team Fun to go on the leg that they went home on last time.
It's bad no matter what. But all of a sudden, you see Vicole, who has been out in the lake, just somehow made themselves around.
Just like putzing along.
Yeah, and they get to the pit stop fourth. And yay, happy birthday, Nicole.
Yes, great. They're still racing. They're a BB team. They're a non-racing team.
This is very exciting to have a BB team still in it. Yeah. But poor Team Fun shows up 5th place, and Becca sure tried.
She did. Fun stoppable, you know, like positive to the very last second. She was
like, Phil, we're still racing?
Still racing? And he's like, sorry, there are no more non-elimination
races. And they were crushed. Yeah. It really is hard for them to go out 5th again.
And Becca was like, I thought it was our destiny to win, but I guess it's just our destiny to get 5th. And Phil's like, you know what? It was your destiny to meet each other.
Hello, Phil. Thank you. That was perfect because I think we've said this so many times, like we can't believe they met on Amazing Race.
Unreal.
Because they get along so well. Yes. They communicate so well and they're just so fun.
I know. It's like amazing that they didn't know each other before because they're such a good pairing and so fun to watch. Like I really will miss their energy. Like I'm glad it's only one episode that we are gonna miss them because they just bring so much joy to this show. And it was so fun to watch them do the race again. And, you know, just happy that we got more from them.
Absolutely. We knew we were going to be sad either way. Yeah. I was like, what's happening?
I know.
But we are happy that Vicole is still in it. Yeah. You know, we just kind of want to keep it not all racers for whatever reason that is.
Right. I mean, it was the theme of the season to have, like, multiple CBS shows. So it's nice that there's still one team that's representing something outside the Amazing Race and showing that, like, you know, even if you haven't raced before, you can sort of keep up with teams who are experts at this race at this point.
And honestly, I am surprised that Afghanimals is still getting through because they're still making those little mistakes.
They were definitely benefited by the double U-turn here. I think that if there were not a double U-turn, Vicole and Team Fun would have passed them with their mistake in the canals. because, yeah, I think
Which is, again, when you're team 3 showing up at a U-turn, you have to do it.
Yeah.
And that's why, because you make a mistake, you fall back, but you're
got
still
a safety net.
safe.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, what a great episode. Now we know the finale is a 2-hour next week, but I didn't see them mention that. Or maybe we didn't watch.
I don't think we watched.
Oh my God, we didn't watch
next week.
the scenes from next week. I think
so
we were
excited
so distraught.
Yeah.
Oh. But yeah, so next week should be a 2-hour finale.
Yes.
You guys, what are your thoughts and opinions?
Oh my God, yes. How do you feel about Team Fun going home?
Yeah.
What do you think of this Final Four? Who's going to make it to the Final 3? Who's going to win?
All of that. We'll see you next week.
All right, bye.
Bye.